Alrighty, folks, good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting live here from NGC Studios in South Florida, and I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight. And yeah, I just put the cap on there. So I want to thank all of you for joining me wherever you are in the past, present, future hour, and whichever platform you're listening on and or watching, whether that be YouTube, D Live, Periscope, or if you're listening on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all that jazz. So, folks, we have a couple of interesting topics tonight. I want to break down what a grifter is. And, this is going to be a topic that is kind of meta towards the community of Gamma Secret Kings. Somewhat, in regards to the whole internet streaming personality type thing. But then as I was thinking about it more and more, politicians are essentially grifters. And, Joe Biden is really trying to grift right now, so we're going to be, talking about that. Apex Gamma is, going to be co-hosting, and Scorpio is going to be popping in here as well at some point to, talk about what a Gamma is, what a grifter is, and what a Secret King is. So there's that, and contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SamW_NDC, hashtag Whitfield Report, at Sam Whitfield on Gab and Parler, thesamwhitfield.com, which I need to renew, Facebook.com/Whitfield Report. As always, you can listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And shout out in the chat on YouTube, we have Apex Gamma, Still Not Your Friend, Saucin, Johnny Arcade, and The Squirrel on YouTube, that is. And on D Live, I don't know if we have anyone on D Live yet. It's looking like I'm the only one on D Live right now, but that is probably going to change. At any rate, though, I think Apex is here, so welcome.
I am here, Sammy. I was just trying not to interrupt that long-winded intro, buddy. How you doing tonight? What's up, chat? Thanks for having me, as always.
I'm doing good. As Saucin likes to point out, I am always trying to outdo our friend Semper, in terms of long intro.
The longest intro? Yeah.
Intros, although, there are rumors as to whether or not the Bears or the VFM got to Semper, because he's kind of MIA on YouTube. But wherever you are, Semper, cheers to you. We wish you well, and the streaming community misses you. So and I know Scorpio said he's going to join here in a bit, but I guess
that motherfucker's eating pizza. He just got off work. He's eating pizza. He will be here. He's got Secret King shit to do.
He's got GSK stuff to do. So, and by the way, you can visit our subreddit at Gamma Secret Kings on Reddit, and you can also join the Whitfield Report subreddit at r/Whitfield Report. And there is nothing on there right now, but I forgot we had a subreddit for this podcast. So if you want to post, show-related memes, videos, articles that you think might be interested, feel free to join there. A link is in the description for that subreddit. But anyway, Apex I guess before we get into what a gamma is, what are your initial thoughts on the whole Kamala Harris and Biden ticket? Speaking of grifters.
Whoo, boy. You know, the conspiracy part of my brain says an entire political party cannot be so stupid. They can't be. Like the I struggle between thinking, like, laughing just at just how stupid it is, and thinking this just doesn't seem like it could be real. It's so stupid. Okay, wait a minute. So you're going to tell me that over the last several months since George Floyd's murder, we have had Black Lives Matter protests burning shit down, defunding of police, and just all around brutalizing of the police forces across this country. Generally, again, generally speaking, especially in the major cities. So the Democratic presidential candidate, the leader of the party, of whom represents almost all of these cities, Portland and the like, has now, based on, what was it? I think it was two criteria, both a woman and a woman of color were the only things, or what was it? Maybe it was five criteria that he set out originally, but he has selected a fucking cop as his vice president for the Democratic ticket in 2020.
Yeah.
And not only a cop, but a cop that just 6 months ago or so, Tulsi Gabbard fucking wiped the floor with. I thought that was literally the end of Kamala Harris. I fucking love Tulsi Gabbard, but besides that, Kamala, however the fuck you want to say it, is a joke, dude. Like, it does not seem real. Biden is already a joke, but I mean, even people in real life that I know that are never Trumpers are like, dude, I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to sit this one out. Like, they would go from hardcore, I don't care who the fuck's in office, or who the fuck's on the ticket, to yeah, I'm not so sure about that. That doesn't seem like a wise move. So in summation, Sammy, I struggle between thinking it's just the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life as far as politics goes, and that includes the whole Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton thing. That was pretty hilarious, and I was young back then.
Yeah.
It's either the funniest thing I've ever seen or the scariest potential implications politically that I've ever seen. I don't really know what to think about it, man. I really don't.
I would have to agree with all your points. I mean, there is a part of me that, like I said, because I did a podcast on this on Wednesday after the news broke, and my initial reaction was, Kamala, however you say it, got her ass whooped by Tulsi Gabbard early on in the primary. And what's funny to me too is it's funny that she's campaigning with Biden now, because during the primary she essentially called him a predator during one of the debates, and now that campaign commercial where they're hugging and shit like that it just proves what a dirty business politics is, that 1 minute.
Well, not only that, but the super fucking biased media that's been pretty much full tilt against Trump, save for Fox News, generally speaking. Even I saw a clip earlier today, maybe it was either earlier today or it was yesterday, where the fucking press was rushed out of the briefing room because they were asking the wrong questions or something to that degree. Like, a reporter asked a question, and the handlers of the room were like, "All right, everybody go. No. Everybody go. And just Joe and Kamala just sat in their fucking desks, like staring down at their papers. Like, I don't know what the question that was asked was, but they're already silencing their own fucking media outlets. Like, hey, Kamala, just a couple of years ago, you laughed and said, laughed at the idea that you smoked weed after, putting people away and, like hiding evidence, trying to put people on death row and shit like that. I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. It's a joke. I don't know. I really don't see how it's real. I
Well,
don't.
here's my concern though, and Johnny brings up a good point. The left isn't stupid; they are intellectually dishonest, which is true. I mean, my big concern is, yeah, the ticket might seem goofy to us, and oh my God, how could people, vote for, Kamala and Biden? But people said that Trump was a joke, campaign too, and
Well, to be honest with you, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
they didn't take him seriously. So my big point that I made last week, and this is kind of my overall point that I want to make this, with this, is the Republicans should not be sleeping, or resting on our laurels thinking that we've got this in the bag, because we don't necessarily have it in the bag, I don't think, and anything can happen, and we still need to be like on top of our game and vigilant. Otherwise, we will have what happened in 2016 to the Democrats happen to us in 2020.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point, man. But I see the opposite happening, man. Republicans across the country, pretty much across every level, local, state, and federal, are making moves and being pretty aggressive on some of these things some of them are going a little far. I can't think of any exact. There's somebody recently, a sheriff banned the use of masks in public, period. Like, you can't wear them at all, which is, that's the way it used to be, but whatever. But the point though is, I don't see much of that, man. Like, I see in my personal experience, which I'm tucked in a little corner of the world, here, or in a little corner of the country rather, is, even on Twitter and shit, I've seen some pretty ardent left-wing activists being like, wait a minute. So Can and Hinat, this little 5-year-old boy who's murdered in cold blood in his front yard by a black man, is not a thing because whatever, you can't even find fucking a story about it outside of that local news. But George Floyd causes mass protests and burning shit down, like left-wing people,
Yeah,
again, tweeting these kinds of things. So
I'm so glad you brought that up to Apex, because with the Kin and Hinna thing, that was horrible what happened there.
fucking mind-blowing, Sam.
But
That is fucking mind-blowing is what that is.
but then
Go ahead.
but then also with the George Floyd thing, and this points to two things. Johnny, I want John. So Johnny in the chat says, Sam, you should play the clip of Kamal on Colbert where she explains it's just a debate and she didn't mean any of it against Joe.
I just read that too.
Funny that you mentioned that, Johnny, because I actually tried to play that clip, and on a video that I was going to upload, and YouTube would not let me upload that because of
surprise.
So yeah, Johnny, I would love to play that clip if I could, but I don't want to get.
See if you can get away with it on a live stream. They can't monitor as accurately on live stream.
They actually have pulled a couple of those. I could try it real quick, but
no, man, don't risk it. Don't risk the channel, dude. I was just
what's interesting is so I guess some more body footage cam of the George Floyd incident got released, And
Oh yeah.
and it, again, I wanted to disclaim. I think we're all in agreement that the foot on the neck, that was overboard, right? Everyone can agree that that was a bit nuts, but
Yeah.
this whole narrative that George Floyd was an angel, once you see this body cam footage, which again is more footage that for whatever reason I can't play in videos. Wonder why. The new leaked George Floyd footage totally discredits the narrative that, oh, he was just a sweet innocent black man, just like struggling through COVID and just minding his own business, but the media has such power that they can literally they can literally zoom in on one specific story, amplify it, and then completely change narratives about race, religion, uh local politics, national politics, whatever, in the blink of
Anything they want, literally.
in the blink of an eye.
Literally anything they want.
They are the fourth estate in this country, essentially. So
The Third Reich is more like it, man.
yeah. So it's just weird to me because, well, I mean, let's face it, this whole year has been weird. But what's mind-blowing to me is there are people who are so disgruntled with Trump that even when presented with all of the evidence against Kamala, and Biden, their best response is, well, at least they're not Trump, right? Which I mean,
Right.
To be fair, I guess that was kind of the same attitude I had with Trump, right?
Towards Hillary.
Or with Trump about Hillary. But Trump wasn't losing his mind and literally like drooling on the floor and and groping people on camera during the campaign. Nor was he locking people up. You want criminal justice reform. Trump so far has been the best president for criminal justice reform. Objectively,
the only one.
Objectively speaking.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he's the only president in my lifetime that I can think of that has done like actual criminal justice reform, that has like let people out of prison for unjust sentencing and shit. Here's his first step program, I think it's called. There was that one famous case of that black woman that got charged once with like trafficking of something, but she was sentenced to like multiple life sentences or some shit, and she served 20-something years, and Trump's bill passed, and she was let the fuck out of prison. But nobody's ever even heard of that woman, because why would you? Because that doesn't help get Trump out of office. Fuck,
Right. Well, and then there was another guy that he let go out of prison who also got got released over a minor drug possession charge, and he got released, and I actually got to meet that gentleman when I was in Memphis last year. But still, like, he's speaking at mostly conservative conferences, which is good, but he's not he's not getting the attention that he should for criminal justice reform. So
well, I mean, no, he's not getting fucking credit for anything that he's done even remotely right. I mean, the hydroxychloroquine fucking conspiracy, that's a wild one, man. Like, aside from the voodoo witch doctors that are getting banned from Facebook talking about it, like, there are doctors all over the country that are like, this shit works. Like, there was a huge, and I listened. I don't listen to many Joe Rogan podcasts, not the whole things anyway. Like, I'll listen to clips if it's someone I find interesting. I'll usually listen to most of it. But I can rarely get through. I mean, I can rarely get through any 3 fucking hour podcast. I just have too much shit to do. But I try, and I'll find the time while doing other things, cooking or cleaning or whatever.
Yeah.
But I listened to Joe Rogan's podcast with Tim Dillon from just a couple days ago. And one of the main reasons I listened to it is because Tim Dillon's fucking funny. He's just really funny. Very nihilistic sense of humor, and he cracks me up. And at one point, they were talking about the current state of things and what's going to happen in November. And Joe Rogan confidently said that life would be better if Biden got elected. Like, he said it multiple times, and I found that fascinating.
Wait,
because in the same breath, or at least in the same several minutes, he will give President Trump all this kinds of credit, but he's playing this game where, like, it doesn't matter what's true, it matters what everyone else perceives, because whatever Trump says ends up being wrong to the general population, or the never Trumpers, like hydroxychloroquine. Rogan brings that up in this podcast. He brings up multiple people that I think Brendan Schaub, who I'm not a fan of, but he's Joe Rogan's friend, actually got COVID, and he went to his doctor, and his doctor actually asked him, according to Joe's retelling of Schaub's fucking story, which Schaub's a piece of shit and he probably lied. But he told Joe, like, his doctor said, "What's your political affiliation?"
Yeah.
And Schaub's like, What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, I want to. I want to suggest hydroxychloroquine, but a lot of people that aren't fans of the president, they don't want to hear that." He's like, "Fuck you, give me what works," and it worked, as it's worked on many people. Like, it's not a fucking conspiracy. It's not like a fucking like a joke. Trump didn't just pull it off the top of his fucking head. It kind of sounded like he did.
And,
Sorry for that loud sound. But oh shit, we have got a Scorpio.
And what's weird, and this kind of ties in, is in regards to the whole like hydroxychloroquine thing. I have a few liberal audience members who were like, okay, so you approve Trump's use of hydroxychloroquine, but you make fun of Owen Benjamin, and rightly so, for drinking turpentine. And it's like hydroxychloroquine is not turpentine. They're actually like scientific, there's actually research behind why.
Yeah, turpentine. Yeah, the turpentine that Owen is drinking, or allegedly, which again, I called this months ago, that motherfucker has never drank turpentine on stream, and he never will, because it's another fucking grift. Which is a perfect segue into what a grifter actually is, Sam. The point of this podcast.
And we have
Go ahead.
we have the Gamma in chief of the Gamma Secret Kings subreddit, Mr. Marv Albert, aka E Scorpio. So,
hello, gentlemen. How's it going?
Hey,
what's up, dude?
Hey, Marv, how you doing?
I'm well, my friend. That's actually several AKAs there.
I literally just fucking spit Knob Creek all over my phone when you said Marv Albert. I don't know where that came from, but it made me laugh really hard.
Yeah,
that's another one of my pseudonyms.
I've never heard that one, Scorpio. So that one's new to me. So.
You need to be in the Gamma Secret King subreddit more often. You're behind on the lore.
Yeah, man. I don't use the internet that much. That's kind of my thing. I just kind of I've never been on Reddit, like ever, actually. So I probably should. Maybe it might make things more fun. But
yeah. I mean, let me put it this way: Reddit. I used to be addicted to Facebook, but now I'm addicted to Reddit. So, but
it is addicting.
Yeah,
I have found a special group of discords, which I never even had Discord, but I found a special select group of 6 discords that just serve all the internet and the stupid Twitter account that I have, and and my backup YouTube channels at this point. They serve all the needs I need.
Yeah. So
But
anyway,
anyway, yeah.
so a few weeks ago, Scorpio made a pretty good video outlining what was going on with the Owen Benjamin court case, and I believe we have more updates on that. But then a listener of mine actually reached out to me and asked, like, what's a grifter and what's a gamma? What's the lore behind that? So I did a video like about 2 weeks ago now, explaining what I thought a grifter was. But I'm curious. Scorpio has done a ton of documentaries on grifters such as Teddy Spaghetti and Owen. So I'm curious, Scorpio, how do you define a grifter? You're the expert.
Well, Sam, a grifter, just briefly, is basically a thief. That's what the dictionary definition is. But we're talking about a specific breed here. We're talking about a breed of politigrifter. The ones we concentrate on tend to be ones that dip their toes into the political pool, whether that be something like straight up Republican or Democrat, or but most of the time it's something intangible. For example, your
subculture.
Yeah, well, your left wing grifters, their intangibles are going to be like the environment or ending poverty worldwide or something like that. Whereas your right wing grifters focus on the Constitution, e.g., free speech, God, guns, religion, the usual things. Now, the Gamma Secret Kings tend to concentrate on the right wing grifters, and there's a lot of theories for that. But it seems like most of us, one reason that is because a lot of us are conservative in the Gamma Secret King subreddit.
Yeah.
So those are the people that are always popping up on our radars.
Yeah.
So we go after, and a lot of these tend to fall into that, the quote unquote alt right or fart right, whatever it might be called. Your Cernoviches, your Teddy Spaghettis. They've all claimed that title from time to time. But that, Apex, you mentioned the subculture thing, and that's part of it. Now, it's very, if we get more deeper into it, one of the things you're gonna see is that glomming onto subcultures or a sudden change of worldview. We saw that with Owen Benjamin when he went from being a liberal guy to a conservative guy after Trump's election in 2016.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did that. That's actually a big one. Now, if you want to talk about grifters, that's when they came out of the woodwork, was after Trump's election.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of people jumped onto the Trump train.
I have a theory about that, and I don't think it's much of a theory. I think it's kind of factual to people that have been paying attention to Owen long enough, that he learned much of what he began to do after Trump got elected directly from Steven Crowder. The whole right-wing Christian conservative grift that he started to move towards was directly from like education from Steven Crowder, which is why he gave Steven Crowder so much credit. But to break it down even further, my opinion, I agree 100% with you, but the reason I particularly gravitated towards Owen, and perhaps, and this, I know this was news to you recently, Scorpio, but I was a fan. I actually found Owen and I enjoyed watching him as a dude that drank coffee at fucking 8 a.m. for an hour and played piano and looked at memes and said funny shit, you know, and talked to the chat. You know what I'm saying? He seemed like a normal dude, and he did talk about Hollywood. And I watched the downfall, but then I also watched him go from refusing to say a certain both religious and ethnic group at the same time, just refusing to say their name, to
That's
you
all.
know, just
So that's
blaming them for everything. And then he went to the moon's not real, or the moon landing's not real. And then like the thing is, I've been lurking on the internet for long enough that I recognized so many of the areas that he was hitting, and he was pulling. He basically would watch videos, and many of the comments on the clips that I used to make on my channel that's now gone, the original Apex Gamma channel, would point that out. Space Dementia, a regular commenter, shout out to Space Dementia, would point it out all the time. She would be like, dude, he literally, this is so and so's video, a decade old conspiracy video on YouTube. And Owen would fucking pull little bits of it, which would bring people in, and he would talk about it for a week and would raise him money. And then, you know, when that ran out, he would move on to the next thing, which is why I've said for months now, the turpentine thing is like the fucking bottom of the barrel. He's had nowhere to go from this point, which is why he just keeps attacking people, James True, and trying to get Milker Nation removed from fucking YouTube, and you know, just making more enemies. But the grift in Owen, I said, I think it was last week in the short clip that Sammy posted, that Owen is, in my experience, maybe it's just because I have so much experience with him, but he's the highest example of how fucking bad the internet can be, both for other people and the people using it. You know, like the person projecting themselves onto it, rather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry to go long-winded there, but
no, that's a good point, and I'm glad you brought up where he got it from. I mean, he that was Crowder when he was with Crowder for that brief time. He picked up a lot of tricks from that man, but that Crowder is also another good example of a right-wing grifter.
Yeah, a much better one, actually. Let's say more mentally stable, or less mentally stable. I'm not sure.
Well, he's much more disciplined. That's for sure.
That's it. That's what it is. I'm much more disciplined, because he's definitely a fucking lunatic. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, Owen has no self-control, and he learned valuable lessons. And the dude's made a ton of fucking money talking shit on the internet. I mean, he has, and he really deserves to be like somewhere in the Encyclopedia Dramatica for Grifter, like a picture of him, maybe with his Jew nose, rubbing his hands together or something. But
Crowder's kind of a weird case, though, and I'm not necessarily defending Steven Crowder now, but when I had first heard of Steven Crowder, he was working for Andrew Breitbart, who I admire deeply, as anyone who follows the lore of this show knows. And Crowder was doing like more journalistic stuff with Breitbart News, and then he struck out to do his own thing and did his own podcast. And what was interesting was when Crowder first started his original outer with Crowder, it was a radio show out in Michigan that he was just doing it like on some local AM station. And then once YouTube live streaming came along, he decided to do it on there. And I actually reached out to Crowder like early on, back before it became famous, and offered to have him on my show. And at first he said yes, and it was just like a matter of scheduling, and it never really worked out. And then later I reached out to him again once he became like much bigger, and I actually remember on stream once he had said something like to the effect of, hey, listen, we can't afford to Jared and I can't afford to go on every, small time podcast that wants to have us on. And I mean,
Yeah.
And I mean,
sounds like something Merch would say.
And I mean, like, look, I didn't take it, personally, like he was directing that at me, specifically, but I did kind of find it interesting that, like, that was his response to, the smaller kind of fan base that had helped him out initially. That, rather than just saying, hey, look, we don't have time, but thank you for the offer. It was more like, we can't afford to show up on every single, small podcast. So it was just kind of his attitude about the whole thing that irked me.
I mean, I have this theory, and I think it's pretty sound if you look around the internet, that every fucking single successful e-celebrity is a grifter and a lolcow that just doesn't know it yet. They will either end up a lolcow or they have been all along. And their whole purpose for being is to grift. There is a very, I would argue there's a very, very small percentage of people that are successful at making content on the internet that aren't, like, wouldn't qualify as grifters. People that change their views, change what they do to appease their audience to make money. That's effectively what a grifter is, in my opinion. I mean, like, the simplest form, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, yeah. So that's, I mean, I feel like that's what the internet is, man. Like, people that make money on the internet as a living, I mean, are effectively grifters. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not 100% of the time. But Sammy will take his shirt off if you send him a fucking Streamlabs. I mean, is that a grifter?
No, and it gets much more specic. Now
of
that's
course,
one part. Apex
that's very broad. Of course I'm brushing with a broad stroke, but just trying to be nihilistic here. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, that's just one. I mean, there's a few components. That's one of them. The change of worldview, jumping into different communities. We had we're talking about after Trump's election, and I immediately think about the Never Trumpers who switched. Like I believe Shapiro was a Never Trumper. Glenn Beck was another one that was a very public switch.
Oh yeah,
Shapiro for sure was. Yeah,
Glenn Beck too. Glenn Beck switched. Glenn and Beck's switch pissed me off because I had actually met Glenn Beck like a long time ago, back in 2012, and then once Trump got nominated, he said something like, Beck said something like, if you've ever been a listener of mine and you vote for Trump, you might as well, you're just like all the Germans who voted for Hitler in 1932 or whatever, and and then he was pretending that he never said that, after the fact. So
yeah.
And that's another thing about grifters too that I've noticed is, the grifter also tends to deny that they've changed their opinion on things.
Oh, not only that, but they will deny it in the face of fucking recorded evidence of them literally saying it with their own fucking voice, man.
Oh yeah. And so this is another thing, because Apex did kind of paint that broad brushstroke that anyone who is trying to make money online is technically a grifter, and I suppose that's true, maybe to a certain extent. So
no, not everybody that's trying to make money online, because there are artists that literally just make art and try to sell it, and they sell way more art online than they fucking ever would trying to do without the internet. You know what I mean? Like animators and musicians, dude. Like artists of all kinds, the internet's great for. But I guess I did paint with too broad of a brush there.
Yeah,
Because
and
now it's not everyone that tries to make money on the internet. It's people that try to make money based solely on their personality and their opinion. Period. That's pretty much in my. I guess that to use a little thinner of a brush.
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
that's a good distinction. But I want to, I want to get to that money thing, that how the grifters, what sets them apart, monetary wise. I wanted to go through a few more examples first, if we can.
Yeah, please.
But yeah, I mean, so because that's a big one, the how they reach into other cookie jars. We have Ted Beale, another one of our favorites. He's always jumping into the issue du jour. Um, for example, he jumped into Comicsgate. He inserted himself into Comicsgate, and you want to talk about monetization? He actually monetized that thing. He started his own comics line. So
yeah.
that's a man. Actually,
Yeah,
I think
yeah, dude. The war with Ethan Van Sciver.
yeah,
Yeah,
What is he
yeah, dude.
called?
I go that far back. That's how I found Vox Day. That's how I discovered Vox Day originally. Yeah. Go ahead though. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So but that's one thing that he is very well known for, is jumping into these communities and causing a split, almost causing little turmoils, and then he'll have his own little group that he had. Most of the time, it's the group he came in with, but then he'll start his own little project. Now he has after that Comicsgate thing. That's why that's what caused the friction with Ethan Van Sciver. Was he wanted to claim the Comicsgate name for his comics company. Do you remember that, Apex?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah.
no, no.
Oh yeah. I
That's
remember.
exactly.
Yeah.
He literally tried to monetize Comicsgate.
Yeah.
And yeah, that started the fucking split.
And
Which is literally, that is a grifter in action. Perfect example,
Well-
Scorpio, dude. Perfect.
well, and then kind of so when I first found out about Ted was because of Gamergate, which I think was either like a little bit later or maybe like during Comicsgate. I can't remember when, but I remember when I first heard of Teddy Spaghetti Vox Day, it was because of Gamergate. And someone actually posted this in Gamma Kings the other day, but he was doing but Vox was doing an interview with some extremely liberal news commentator and talking about Gamergate at first. And at first I'm thinking, okay, so far this Vox Day guy is making some really good points about how journalists are really biased in gaming, and how the SJWs are really taking over gaming. Like, yeah, I completely agree with everything this guy is saying. And then the conversation switches to like marriage and relationships, and Vox pretty much says something like, there is no such thing as marital rape because of English, and he brings up English common law, and the guy's like, yeah, but we're in the US, and Vox is just like, no, it doesn't matter, it's English common law. So
Well, let me give you a little history lesson, Sam. A brief one. Gamergate was several years before Comicsgate, which is exactly why Teddy had the inclination to monetize Comicsgate when it became a thing, which is why it drove a wedge between him and Ethan Van Sciver and the whole actual comics community, Comicsgate community at the time. because Teddy rode that Gamergate community, and he saw Mr. Medicare and fucking Ethan Ralph and everybody else that rode that wave into internet fandom, internet grifterdom, essentially. I mean, look at fucking Ethan Ralph now, for fuck's sake, dude. But but the point is, like, Teddy with his bald head and his creaky fucking chair and his 4-foot fucking stature, saw an opportunity to monetize, which is exactly what he saw with the Big Bird. And Big Bird was a much smaller target and a much easier target than Gamergate. Gamergate was huge. Comicsgate was pretty big. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
There were a lot of influential people involved in Comicsgate. Owen Benjamin is fucking nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about Owen Benjamin except for the idiots that care about Owen Benjamin. And there was a lot of them. And there still are. He just keeps recycling these viewers somehow. The well will end eventually. But yeah, I mean, I think Owen has been manipulated by Teddy Spaghetti since the moment they became in contact with one another, just like Owen was manipulated by Steven Crowder. Only Vox is the quote-unquote Dark Lord. Oh, I didn't take that. I didn't give myself that name. I only call myself that because other people call me that. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, but I'm the Dark Lord with the fucking the evil legion of evil. What the fuck? What? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much you want to talk about fucking in your face bullshit. God damn, dude.
I'm not a James Bond villain. That's just how those who oppose me perceive me as a Bond villain. So
oh no, someone comments, oh, the evil legion of evil sounds like a cult. Oh yeah, you're not wrong to say that, because it is, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, Vox proudly talked. How he not only has one cult, but he has the evil legion of evil. Then he has the Dread Elk. Then he has, so basically he has all these different cults out there. I think he's trying to upstage Owen Benjamin in the fact that, Owen Benjamin can barely manage one cult, whereas Teddy has 5 or 6.
Okay, so this is complete freaking nonsense, but I think the way it works with Ted's cult is that I think the evil legion of evil is the umbrella that they're all under, and underneath that umbrella you have the Dread Ilk, which are his old guard. You have your Kurgans and your freaks like that, and then you have the VFM, the Vile Faceless Minions, and those are the rank and file. They just are mindlessly obedient to Ted. He'll send out email blasts to his VFM to go do their little gay operations they have. For example, they were instrumental in his little, I don't know if y'all are familiar with his rabid puppies fiasco when he was going.
I am not.
It was when he was. I'm not going to get into it all right now, but it was part of his sci-fi shtick. He was trying to rig the vote for his people that fit under his group. He called them the rabid puppies.
Oh,
yeah.
It was all the. I don't know. I guess.
It's Scorpio. Is this the thing that he was complaining on his blog recently with the science fiction book?
Oh no, this is something else. That's the comic books. This is old Teddy stuff. This is from 5-6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So he got into it. He was, as y'all know, he's some kind of lame science fiction writer, right? So he was in the running for, or he threw his hat in the ring to be the president of their sci-fi club, whatever the hell it is. And he didn't get it. So he got all pissed off, and he kind of formed his own faction where they were going to. Now this group they vote, right? They vote for the Hugo Awards. They're part of many other groups that vote for who wins best science fiction, this and that. Well, it's another like Comicsgate, Gamersgate type thing. But this, I guess it would be Sci-Fi Gate. I'm not sure. I don't think it had a name. But so they felt that the SJWs were infecting the science fiction world too much. So they were going to do their own thing. He set up these little voting blocks. And he, as part of that, he emailed all the VFM, oh, these are the guys you have to vote for. They were trying to rig the vote, in other words. And it just all blew up in his face. All of their rabid puppies, they all either came in last or they didn't even place or whatever the case might be. Another Teddy failure. But okay, so that's the VFM. They're the ones that do all the little lame, the dirty work, in other words. And then you have the
VFM. They're the ones that I was actually trying to refer to when I kept saying his whatever I kept saying earlier. I was trying to refer to his VFM. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, and yeah, so you got the Dread Yoke, you have the VFM, and you have the Legal Legion of Evil, and that's the supposed 28. It changes. I think at one time it was 26. I think now it's 28 lawyers.
Wait, there was the deplorables too, right? Because Jordan Peterson called him deplorable at one point. So he started calling his followers the deplorables. Are you not up on that, Laura?
It's no, I don't. I think it's that might be an archaic term. I think it's one of those things they might have dropped or they just use from time to time. But yeah, I see that. I was
there for that though. Like I was watching fucking Teddy Spaghetti as like a passive viewer. When he's like, oh, look, Jordan Peterson talks about me and he called me deplorable. You guys are the deplorables now. And that's when I'm like, I struggled anyway, but I needed guidance and I was looking for it in the wrong place. That's how I found these fucking idiots.
One of
we've all been weak at some point. God damn it!
One of my favorite arguments. One of my favorite arguments. It wasn't so much an argument, but one of my favorite pitches that someone tried to make to me, because someone actually this was before I had even heard of Owen. Someone actually was like, Sam, you should connect with Vox Day, and I'm like, why? The dude is kind of weird, and they were like, well, you like comic books and science fiction, which I do, and Vox Day likes comic books and science fiction, and you're both conservative, therefore you should connect, which is to me kind of the same logic as saying that like I should be friends with like Mussolini or something because we both drink waters or something. But it's just like that. It's just kind of like that's how a lot of these grifters like interconnect with each other.
Jesus Christ! I was not ready for that, Sam.
I didn't think that joke would come off as well as it did, but I mean.
Hey, wait. Speaking of jokes, hey Scorpio. How do you feel about writing a single joke or multiple jokes to speak either anonymously or otherwise during a George Floyd comedy roast?
Is this itself a joke? Or
No, it's not. Actually, it started as a joke, but it's a real thing. We need people. One joke or a whole set. I'm gonna do a whole set, and I'm gonna humiliate myself. It's gonna be terrible, dude, but it's gonna be really funny.
Hoax Wars
I-
is hosting it, so
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that
Hoax
sounds
Wars.
interesting, man.
Ethan
Yeah,
Ralph might be Ethan Ralph. We might get Ethan Ralph involved, so I can tell him he has a little dick and he's fat, and you know, because that's the best part of roast, man, is roasting each other. You know, you
yeah.
guys can talk shit. I expect everyone to talk shit about me because I'm easy to talk shit about. You know, so but you know, it started as a joke. It's like, hey, let's have a George Floyd roast. I don't even remember. There's a Patrice O'Neill Groiper is his name. He's never gonna hear this fucking podcast probably, but he's in Hoax Wars Discord, and he was like, he mentioned it, and I'm like, dude, that's actually a really funny idea. And I brought it up to Hoax, or no, I don't remember exactly how it went, but I'm like, dude, we could do it legit. It's like a roast master, and like bring as many legit people on. Anthony Cumia has been reached out to. Ethan Ralph is tacitly on board. I have been slotted for a whole set, and I have never written a joke in my fucking life, but I'm trying because I think it'll be really funny, whether they're good jokes or not, because it's all going to be on camera.
you'll still be better. Well, don't worry, Apex. I'm pretty sure that Anthony Cumia has never wrote a joke either, despite being on comedy radio for 30 years or however.
Yeah, well, you know what he has done is he's been around people that have written jokes and told good jokes. He's surely absorbed some of that in that fucking hair of his.
He's also he also may or may not have had relations with underage girls who stole
Oh my god.
who stole his gun.
Sam,
Who stole his
why
gun?
you gotta go there, man?
Well,
This was funny. It was funny, man. I was being funny. I was trying to be funny. I'm just kidding. So, speaking of grifters, what do you think about Anthony Cumia? Where does he lie on the grifter scale, Scorpio?
Oh god, he definitely doesn't come up much on the Gamma Secret King subreddit. I can say that much. I don't know too much about the man himself.
Okay.
Other than him being, his general localosity, but no, I'm interested in that. DM me some more details, either on Discord or Twitter.
I will do my best. I will do that, but I will actually see if I can get you in the Discord. See if we can work this all
okay.
out.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that sounds very, very interesting.
Dude, listen, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be terrible, almost certainly, but it's gonna be funny, and it could be like really funny, and not that terrible. But I don't know if you've ever watched a roast. Most people have.
Yeah.
They're usually pretty terrible, and the people doing the roasting, they generally don't sound like they like the people that they're talking about, even though that they probably don't dislike the people that they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. So that's why it seems so funny, because there's murals of this motherfucker with wings all over the country. Like he's a fucking saint. And listen, like Sam said earlier, what happened to the man? I've never heard anybody say that what happened was justified. Let's kneel on somebody's fucking neck for 8 minutes as an official peace officer. That's not okay. But neither is what happened to lots of white people too. But you've never heard about them. But that's not the point. Or Mexicans too. Fuck. But the point still is it's funny because he's like the big thing. And every single I've actually brought this up IRL. I'm not kidding you. I've been like, yeah, my internet friends have been like, hey, you want to do a roast of George Floyd? Every fucking single person is like, I don't know, man. Like that alone is fucking funny to me, dude.
Yeah.
I don't I'm not a joke writer. I'm, like I've said before, I'm more of a fool than I am a comedian.
A
So,
jester.
I
right, yeah. I'll
I
just dance around with a funny hat on and say funny things.
people people always like to try and call me a comedian, but the reality is I'm a comic enthusiast, and or I'm a comedy enthusiast, and I just so happen to be funnier than Owen Benjamin, but let's face it, that's not a very high
Not a high bar,
bar.
Sam. Yeah.
So
No, Sam, you're funny and you're funny and awesome in so many ways that can't be quantified on normal levels.
I also,
In my opinion, which is why I'm always here with you,
which I
because you know what? You're different. You're different awesome.
which I
That's
which
all.
are you saying I'm a special boy?
I'm hitting on you is actually what I'm doing. I didn't want to be real blunt about it.
Well, that's evil Eric. That's evil Eric's job, or Johnny's job to hit on me. One of those two guys. So Nerai in the chat earlier asked another good question, which is, so if people who sell their personalities, online are grifters, then who isn't a grifter then, I guess?
Well, that's a really fine line, man.
Me.
That's a good question to ask.
I would immediately answer Neri with me. I'm not a grifter necessarily. So
Well, Sammy, that depends on your definition. Because as I said earlier, if Fat Keck Boy donated you $15 and said take your shirt off, or $20 and said take your shirt off, and you're like, nah, $20, fuck that. Maybe 50, and then you got another $30 in your fucking Streamlabs from somebody else. You wouldn't take your shirt off?
I probably would, maybe. But here.
Right. So,
but
no. But listen, that's not a bad thing. That's appeasing your audience. But is that a grifter? Because how far does that go? Because you're just taking your shirt. That's not anything. But if your audience starts donating you hundreds of dollars and they're like, the fucking Trump's fucking blah, blah, the Antichrist, and says that, you know what I mean? I don't fucking know, but something anti whatever you actually believe, hundreds of dollars, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And they keep in these super chats start telling you or saying things counter to what you believe. Would you start saying that?
no, and it's funny because I've actually not been offered that.
Well, no. But I mean, again, that's my point though, is it's easy to say now because nobody's offering you hundreds of dollars to change your mind. But if some random fucking person started streamlabbing you, again, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars even. I mean, thousands might be suspicious, but regularly donating, 50, hundreds of dollars every week you stream and saying things that are counter to what you believe, or maybe just more than one person, because it would probably take more than one person. But if your audience grew by 20%, and that entire growth from where it is now is people that are counter to what you believe, but they're all the people donating you money, would you change the way you approached your show? Would you change the way you talked about the things you reported? I bet you would. I would. It's not a slight against you because you're like, I mean, maybe not. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that.
What I might do is I might change my presentation a bit, but I don't think I would change my opinion, which I think is what you're asking. If I would change.
Well, no, because you know what? I don't think Owen Benjamin is any fucking different than he was 10 years ago. I think that he plays a fucking character. And because he has acting experience, he plays it better. Well, no, he doesn't play it fucking better, but he plays it more confidently than most people can do.
Yeah.
So he's more willing to fucking throw himself into this. The moon landing's not real, and the Jews are responsible for everything, and which both of us might be true. I don't fucking know, but he throws himself without any real knowledge about these things. He just fucking throws himself into it because he can play. He's confident in improv. You know what I mean? He's gained that ability, and he has enough bullet points to understand how the internet grift works. I mean, look at him. Look at the fucking dude. I've been deplatformed. I've been demonetized. Oh shit! I still have a YouTube channel that's gaining money, but I've been deplatformed from YouTube for months now.
Yeah, Johnny brings up a good point. He says that's why I never accept money from internet strangers.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know nothing. I owe nothing to anyone. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, thanks for the internet donation, but that doesn't necessarily. You can't buy my friendship. I'm not like a.
Well, Sammy, if you were down and out, if you were used to making, what did Owen claim? Scorpio, remind me, what was he claiming to make on his sitcom?
I think that's what sets the grifters from the non-grifters apart, is the amount of the money. I think it was 30,000 or 300,000 an episode, something like that. It was
30,000, like it was like 30,000 a week. What's up?
Yeah. So that's, in my opinion, that's what sets apart, because I mean, like you're saying, Apex, people make money off the internet. I mean, that's just the way things are going. I'll just speak on my own personally. I do little things. I'll sell T-shirts, or I'll accept PayPal donations, or I'll I have a Patreon. Now, I don't make much on any of those things, but I'm not making like we were saying, the Owen Benjamin money. He was making what was it? He claimed 30,000 a month on YouTube. So that's where, when you get to those levels, that's when you start to see them compromise. But I honestly don't think that these men have any values to be compromised. I think the only value they have is the money.
Yep. Yeah, dude, that's right on the nose.
Well, and I've also noticed that all these e-celebs get like a little like high on themselves too. Like I find it hilarious when people like meme me and parody and super chat me funny stuff, because I don't take myself too seriously. I can joke about myself, but like I've noticed that like a lot of like, if anyone makes fun of Owen to his face, rather than laughing about it and being like, hey, that's a really funny parody that you did, it's you're banned, and you're banned for life. I mean, that was the whole thing with the whole gummy incident. Like initially he was like, oh, this was hilarious, and then later he was like, someone tried to poison me, and it, which never even happened. So it's the whole ego thing. So
here's $5.
So as far as we set up that we were starting to establish that pattern, right? There was grifters coming out of the Trump election. There was grifters coming out of the Comics Gate.
Yep.
The other one that I wanted to talk about was Cernovich, because he came out of he started out kind of as a pickup artist guy. Now there's a lot of grifters that come out of that community, the Pua community. But with let me see who's freaking freaking Ted dabbled in that community also. Who else is out there? It's I want to say Coach Red Pill is another one. What's his name? Roosh came out of that one. Now a lot of people don't see Roosh as a grifter, and I tend not to pay too much attention to him either. But I just always question anybody who comes out of that particular community, the pickup artist community, because that is a big grift in and of itself.
Yeah. Oh, that.
But
Wait, isn't Vosh, whoever that fucking dude is that went to Owen's house that used to be a
Roosh, yeah,
pickup artist?
Roosh, yeah,
Roosh. Yeah.
Roosh
Who's
V.
now a super hardcore, like basically a less extreme version of Owen all of a sudden that used to be a pickup artist. I mean, he's a Christian that preaches all the same shit, but more strictly and doesn't jump into turpentine and the moon's fake and a lens and a battery and all the other fucking shit. You know,
yeah.
right?
He's I think he's I what I know from Roosh is that he was a pickup artist, and he got he settled down with a woman, and the woman cheated on him. So after that, it like shattered his world. I mean, ironically, and now he is a Orthodox Christian. Now I've been told that his conversion is sincere. Like I said, I don't follow him enough. I know that he has
It might be. I believe that.
yeah, but like I said, it's just questionable when you have such extreme, like we were talking about earlier, such extreme changes in worldview, such extreme changes in personality. So that you
Listen.
always have to keep an eye on that type of thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Now, Scorpio, for me, dude, I just personally, I've not been a very stable individual for most of my life at this point.
Mhm.
So I understand like wild swings of like true wild swings of understanding of the world and perceptions of things. But for me, it's from that point, beyond that, it's the company that you keep. And if you have had some sort of spiritual awakening, as Roosh claimed to have had, and then can go to fucking Ursa Manor and sit with Owen Benjamin for multiple hours on camera and multiple hours off camera and still walk away with respect for both him and yourself, I don't believe you. I don't believe a fucking thing that you have said up to that point, because I've never met anybody. I shouldn't say meet. I've never seen anybody that has stricken me with so much disingenuousness as that man known as the Big Bear or the Big Bird in smaller circles.
Yeah, that's very well said, man. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I mean, again, the company that you keep. So Owen and Vox teaming up, that was like, whoa, wait a minute. That looking into both of them and realizing, okay, we got a dad who's in prison for embezzlement for like fucking 40 years or some shit, who is still idolized by his son, who sits in a fucking creaky chair with his glasses and his fake books behind him. You know we don't read those fucking books. What are those fucking books behind him? And then you got Owen, who is clearly a homosexual, who's, pumping kids out of this lesbian who's pretending she's not, because they both hate what they are and they just are refusing to accept it. And only her parents give a fuck about anything that happens in either of their lives, which is why those shitty fences and shitty chicken coops have been built by that 85-year-old fucking man known as Grandpa Jack. And again, we're spelling it out. This is what a grifter fucking is. Owen is a fucking liar, and he's lazy. He's a piece of shit, dude. He doesn't do a fucking thing off camera. He just pretends on camera that he does. You know what I mean? That that's as fine a point as I can put on it, man.
And
I don't really know.
And he just, as you said earlier, he's flaming to. I don't think I've ever heard him do a stream where he can't not talk about penises or gay sex for like 5 minutes. So
I mean, no, listen, he's definitely done streams where he's not talked about gay sex or penises for more than 5 minutes. But within those streams, within those minutes or hours, he's fucking elbowing dogs. He's throwing fucking beer cans at animals. He's fucking he's busting beer bottles over his fucking fireplace because he can't find a bottle opener. That's my favorite clip, by the way, of all time.
in my
He
head,
smashes the beer.
I
thought that would work.
In my mind, that made sense. What one for?
Yeah, that's it. In my mind, that made sense. Oh my fuck, dude. I mean, listen, if Owen is a comedian, that's the comedy right there. Like, if he was trying to do that, if he did that on purpose, that's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like, for real.
I think the fact that he didn't though is what makes it funny though. So
No,
Yeah, well, it's unintentional as always. I mean, that's what's funny about
in my
Owen.
mind, that
It's
made
not,
sense.
it's not anything he's doing intentionally.
but
That's what makes a locale. I mean, that's
I swear to God, dude, every e-celeb of, say, 1 million followers on any social media platform or more, 1 million or more, is a lolcow. They just don't know it yet. I mean, I feel like it's an inevitability of e-celebrity because we are all fucked, dude. Every single one of us human beings are fucked. And we try, well, the people that make themselves popular on the internet portray themselves in a certain way, which guess what? Is a fucking lie. In some degree, it's a lie. You're not telling the truth somewhere in this projection of yourself online. Well, I guess it's not 100% true, but I mean, I would say 99% of it. You've got the Alex Joneses of the world who don't give a fuck, and literally just, they don't give a fuck. That's who they are. I mean, I would expect that if I met Alex Jones, he would try to sell me some boner pills and some fucking fluoride water or some anti-fluoride shit and whatever, and he would talk to me just like he does on screen when I watch his show. Listen, young man, you gotta whatever, making the frogs gay, whatever.
Do you?
But
I do want to
go
ask.
ahead, Sam.
I do want to ask about Alex Jones though, because
I feel like I had a point, Sam. Before you go on, Alex, never mind. I don't know what it was. I lost it. It's gone. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you have a point or okay? I feel like there are those like Alex who. I feel like there are exceptions to the grifter rule, and Alex is one of them because
No. Alex Jones is the pin. Alex is the apex grifter. Alex is the grifter that all grifters wish they could be, because Alex Jones is more right than he's wrong in most cases, but he also doesn't give a fuck about anything except capitalism and supposedly telling the truth. That's what he says. So who cares? I've literally never bought anything he's ever sold, but I've learned a fuckload from that man. And I've also been misled by that man quite a few times. But the Boston bombing, thanks to the Alex Jones and the InfoWars crew during that whole charade, that was, what was that, 2016, 2015? The Boston bombing?
That was 2012. That was 2012, I think.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I think I was still in high school when that happened.
Holy shit. Okay, well, whenever that was, InfoWars that was one of my kind of awakenings, man. Thanks to InfoWars, but I also think thanks to that moment was led down many fucking erroneous paths. So
Yeah, I mean,
take it for what you will.
I mean, the only reason I say that Alex isn't a grifter is because I think that Owen and Ted deep down, and even Cernovich maybe as an example, I think they know they're full of. I think they know they're full of shit. Those three at least.
Wait. That's actually a good question, Scorpio. I have a question for you. What do you think? Like, where's the line? Excuse me. On, looking to make money on the internet. Like, obviously selling things, like you make something and you put it on a website and people buy it and you send it to them and they give you money for it. That doesn't count. But giving your opinion versus giving them a product, whether that be music or a physical piece of clothing or jewelry, I don't think you can grift when you make something, like as an an artist of any kind, whether you're selling t-shirts. Well, fuck, that's a fine line too, because people talk shit on Mr. Mediker, who's now disappeared from the YouTube sphere. But he said for years that just fucking buy a hat and draw 5 stars on it with a marker, and then he started selling hats. And like, oh shit, he's a grifter,
Yeah, and people are very quick to throw that term around nowadays. But yeah, there is a line, Apex, and that's I think the main thing is. Now remember we talked earlier about the intangibles, the big lofty ideals that these men have, men and women, because there are women grifters.
For sure.
That's what it comes down to. Once they get into your community, once they have you hooked, then they sell you their ideas, and then they let you know how you can help. And that help always is money. It's always monetary help, and it's money for vague promises. It's intangible products for an intangible cause. So you'll have often you'll hear, like I said, with the right wingers, there'll be we're fighting for free speech, and you can help by donating to this cause, or a lot of them straight up now just have a GoFundMe. What happened recently? We're talking about we talked about Cassandra Fairbanks a little bit last time I was on Sam's show, and when that thing was, I think when it first went down with the riots up there in, I think it was Seattle. She had a grip set up where Ezra Levant actually was pushing it to get her. She set up a GoFundMe for Cassandra Fairbanks because supposedly Antifa was trying to break down her door, so they needed to move her into a new apartment. So you could donate to Cassandra's GoFundMe so she can get a new apartment. Now that's something that's tangible, but if you look behind, if you look between the lines, well, we're fighting the left. We're fighting these Antifa goons. So join, send us some money. It always comes down to something like that. I'm fighting for free speech, so support my my Patreon, or support my what have you. And usually they have their own. A lot of these guys have their own platforms. Yeah. But you're always expected to contribute to a cause, and you don't get anything for that. Another good example is this whole recent thing with Owen the Bertaria thing. People were sending him money for nothing. I mean, I think that's what the line is. A lot of these guys will expect money for nothing, and I think that's where the line is. Like you said, if somebody gives you money for a shirt and you give them a shirt, that's not a grift, you know. But if
Right.
somebody selling you,
No.
I don't know what the hell Owen was selling. I mean, it was supposed to
No.
be campgrounds or something, and now it's $400 for nothing, basically.
Bro, no, that's perfect because that's exactly it's when I said it, I was trying to make it sound like it was a fine line between selling shirts and hats versus pretending like you're gonna open a fucking 100-acre goddamn fucking escape for your goddamn cult members for them to drink Kool-Aid. And like, and you raise how many fucking thousands? How many? Please remind me how many thousands of
Well,
dollars they raised.
it supposedly got up to damn near 200,000.
Jesus fucking Lord Almighty! So now it's shut down. It's not. That's not happening. Now Owen's pretending like it was never a thing, right? So what happens to that money? That goes to Owen, right?
Well,
Or no?
I have a theory about the whole Bertara thing, actually.
Well,
So-
wait. Before your theory, what happens to that money?
Well, Owen has the money. Oh, it's
Right,
not.
that's Owen's
he-
money.
Yeah, it's Owen's money, and he was real quick afterwards to set up all kinds of his own terms and conditions. He put it
dude.
he put it every which way he could that this is a non-refundable donation. So
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. That listen, if Grifter ends up in Encyclopedia Dramatica, for the love of God, please put Owen Benjamin rubbing his hands together with a big Jew nose as the picture. Please.
So
Sam, you had something to say. Go ahead.
So my theory with the whole Bertara thing, I can't believe I didn't figure this out earlier, but I think Bertara was simply a money laundering. Again, this is all allegedly, so this is. But it seems to me that the Bertara thing was a money laundering thing for Owen's legal fees with Patreon, right? Because he's taking on Patreon. He's supposedly taking on big tech. How much money is that going to cost? About 200 grand when all is said and done. Even if he loses, it's probably going to be the cost of doing, business. So, I mean, why not just? But obviously, he can't say that we need cash for a lawsuit because we have no idea what the hell we're actually doing. So why not, make up the whole thing of, guys, we're gonna buy land and it'll be great and all you guys can come. So, he can't say that. So instead he can't say that he needs illegal, fee money, so he's going to make up the campground story instead. So,
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. After all this talk of grifting and shit, I think I'm gonna start an OnlyFans and a GoFundMe for something undetermined. I'm not sure yet.
I actually originally thought that OnlyFans was a podcast paywall service before I figured out what it was. So
Well, Sammy, it is if you take your shirt off.
I'm starting to notice a theme here. So
Shit,
well, now
man. All right.
Apex, as long as you're delivering nudes, you're not grifting on OnlyFans. So
Right. See? Sammy? Take that shirt off. Rub your nipples and be like, the Three Gorges Dam is experiencing its fourth wave of floods in the last 3 months. Ooh.
is that
Or something.
is
I don't
it-
know.
is that even
Play it by ear, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's That's true. I do remember I did think of challenging Owen Benjamin in like a WWE wrestling type promo or something.
Bro, the Three Gorges Dam is gonna break, and millions of people are gonna suffer. I'm pretty sure, anyway. But yeah, WWE match with Owen Benjamin, sure. I mean, your wheelchair with goddamn fucking skill saws that poke out at a horizontal angle, and the flamethrowers that poke out the front will surely deal with his 6 foot, probably 5, because he's claimed 6'7", 6'8". That 6'5" faggot frame will melt and be cut into, like little chunks. Don't eat it though. I mean, it'll be cut into eatable chunks, but don't eat it.
Why?
Get turpentine poisoning.
Wait. Look, Sam, don't let me on your show anymore.
No, you always say that too, and you always tweet me the day after saying, "God, don't let this guy on your show." But you're just, what can I say, man? You're too amusing. I have to bring you on. So,
Listen. I can't see through my own glasses because there are tears upon them, and the shirt that I'm wearing is not conductive to like absorbing tears off of metal or glass. It's not metal. I don't wear metal glasses. What the fuck am I talking about?
So I've made you laugh so hard you're crying, is what you're saying?
Sam, listen to me. Yes.
Also, how drunk are you right now?
Wait. Not that. Period.
How stoned?
Not that. Period.
Gay?
No, not that. How drunk am I?
Yeah.
Not that drunk. Period.
Oh.
How stoned am I? Not that stoned. Period. That's what I was saying.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I'm pretty much both.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, the last time that you were on stream, drunk, I'm pretty sure that you said that I was the straight version of Owen Benjamin. So,
I don't think so. I think I called you a Mexican. I did. I said you were a Mexican to the Democrats because you were like incapable of, thinking or doing for yourself. But nobody got it, including my IRL friends who were watching the stream.
Yeah.
They were like, "Bro, you called a disabled kid a Mexican." No, he's my friend. You don't get it. You just didn't get the joke. Like, bro, nobody got the joke. Nobody got the joke, man.
Which I honestly did not mind because I got what you were trying to do. I mean, I call
Sammy, you're not a Mexican. Why would you be offended by that?
Well, Scorpio actually has a video on his channel about how he's not Mexican either. So
Scorpio.
One of the earlier low class logic videos. So
Scorpio.
Yeah.
I need your opinion.
Okay.
Should I shut the fuck up and leave this stream right now? Or should I just keep ruining Sam's show like I tend to do?
What do they say? Steer into the skid, right?
Oh, I mean, that's an ice. Are you in the north too? Yeah. Like when you start sliding, steer into that shit.
I think I think Scorpio's in. Well, I'm not gonna say where because
no, we don't need that. No. Listen, I'm in the frozen motherfucking north. when you slide, you steer into the fucking shit. Actually, no, you don't. You don't do anything. You just let go of the steering wheel and you die. That's what happens.
Okay, that might be the answer then.
It is. No, listen, it is. Well, there's too many people. Just let go of the fucking steering wheel. Let God take control. Fuck.
Alan Pell is here in the chat though, and he says, "I am Mexican. That is why that is why my alter ego is bean pilled."
Listen,
So
Alan Powell is a fucking ghost. That dude is dead. It's his body. I carry it around with me. That's his ghost. I resurrected that man.
yeah, behind
From a fence post, from beneath the fence post on Ursa Manor. That's a true story. That happened.
oh yeah, just like the crippled kid swatting happened. So
Whoa, 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 whoa. I have fucking hair on my head, and my chair does not creak. Anything like that.
yeah.
What are we talking about again? We were talking about something.
We were talking about grifters and we were talking about what a grifter is. So
Okay, well let's segue into what a gamma is, because Johnny Arcade pointed it out fucking perfectly. A gamma is a Dr. Seuss animal that doesn't fucking exist because it's made up. It's not real. It's not a thing. Which is why I'm the best one, by the way. Gamma in chief. Just saying.
Well, that was true, except that we became it. We are
That's
now
true.
we are the embodiment of the gamma. We became
No, that's a fact, man.
we
That's
actually
a fact. I can't deny that.
we actually made gammas cool now. So
Well, no, I won't go that far, Sammy, because I'm not that cool.
well,
I took on listen, I took on the nomenclature with the explicit intent of embodying the worst things about it. That, like, I am all of those things, but I'm not only those things, but I'm definitely all of those things.
Well, the way I see it is that the gammas are the complete opposite of what grifters like Owen and Ted are. So, I mean, I think
That's legit. No, that's valid.
so
yeah,
That's
and they're
like a counter to the grifter. Yeah, I mean
we're
that's good.
the gammas have become the anti-grifter. We are the primary antagonist to the myriad politic grifters out there.
yeah. And
You know, the good thing. Well, the thing is there are many grifters, or I'm sorry, there are many gammas uh, among the internet, especially the YouTube and D Live sphere, that don't know that they're gammas, but they definitely are. Those like PPP and Godwinson and Toad McKinley, and I mean, there's many others from like the blood sports era that are counter to the grifter scheme.
Yeah,
I
the
suppose.
ankle biters. That's
Right.
that's what that's another thing we're called. That's another thing they try to insult us with. We're biting at their ankles. Well, we'll just like we were talking about earlier, steer into the skid. Well, hell yeah, I'll bite your ankle. I'm down
Well,
for that.
Listen, I I help my whole my the whole reason I'm here on this show right now with this name in this Discord was in solidarity of Johnny Arcade, who was in the chat earlier. may not still be, but
I think he is.
I was a fan of Owen Benjamin, and I watched the whole Danger Zone like rift form from the other side. I've said this many times. Excuse me, live on stream. Maybe not on Sam's stream, but I burped twice just now and I lost my point.
Uh,
About being a fan of Johnny Arcade.
Oh, right. No, I did. My whole point for making videos was, I mean, essentially in solidarity with Johnny Arcade. I have no experience with editing video. I'm a fucking old man. I just do shit with my hands. Like, I have a phone that's, I guess, smarter than me.
Apex, I
At
think
this
you're
point-
only 5 years older than I am. That's not that old.
No, Sammy, I'm older than that.
Okay,
I was-
you're 32, right?
No, I will be 34 this year.
Okay, still not old in my book, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, listen. 5 years is a long fucking time, Sammy.
Oh yeah, I know
When you're
I know it
talking about
is.
growing up, dude. When you're talking about life experience, dude, that's a long fucking time. Between
Mhm.
20 and 30. Holy fuck. Don't even talk to me about that. We'll talk about that shit in 5 years.
I
Because it's not even I can't even quantify it. I'm not even going to try. The point that I was trying to make was I started making videos because I saw the rift form between Owen Benjamin and the Danger Zone from the Owen Benjamin side. I was there, but like long before I watched him open the gummies live, and then months later, I watched him go, "Oh yeah, I was sent poison gummies that were shaped like dicks." Like, wait the fuck a minute! I watched you open those gummies. I never chatted. I never talked to. I was just lurking, dude. I just watched him because I enjoyed his commentary. He's
Did we lose you, Apex?
It wouldn't be a stream with Apex if we didn't lose him at least once.
That's certainly the case. I mean, yeah, this whole thing with the whole Owen. Well, for me, the whole thing with the Owen split happened because of the Nimmer roast and whatnot, and then Owen. The thing that also amuses me is Owen complained that no one ever tried to warn him about Nimmer, when in fact people had. So that's like another trait of grifters is only seeing what they want to see to fit their narrative. So
Well, when we were talking something, that reminded me of something I wanted to say earlier when we were talking about Alex Jones. Now, Alex Jones is a type that he doesn't. He kind of breaks the mold when we talk about what you commonly would think a grifter is. But I think that's definitely one of those things. What are the traits that Alex has? He's kind of pompous. He's kind of bombastic, very arrogant, and men like that. I mean, with Owen, you can tell him something to his face, try and give him a warning, but these type of men, they are not receptive to advice because they feel that they're above it. That's definitely going to be another. Now with Alex, it's kind of hard to pin him as a grifter. I feel that I'm kind of with you there. Not that I have an affinity for any of these men, but to me, Alex Jones kind of doesn't fit the typical stereotype of a grifter. I think I think that he is, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint on him. Whereas men like Owen, it's a lot easier. But they share that pomposity. But there's with Owen, it's much more easier to pinpoint. I mean, you have the money for nothing. You have the changing of opinions on a dime. You have the lofty causes. I guess if we looked hard enough, we could find those things in Alex Jones as well. But is Apex
Guys.
back? You back?
Yeah.
How fucking far did I talk into nothingness just now?
Pretty. I'm thinking pretty darn far.
Were you talking this whole time?
I mean, yeah. What's the last thing you heard me say?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I was talking for a long fucking time.
How much you admired how you started this whole thing because of Johnny Arcade. That's where you started.
Right. So the summation is I was a fan of Owen Benjamin back when he was playing piano with his glasses on and drinking coffee at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I watched him open gummies. And then months later, I watched him with 5,000 people say, "Oh yes, these two people sent me these poison gummies from the Owen Benjamin side." And I never chatted or any of that shit. I just was watching, and I happened to be watching this night when the Danger Zone was fucking spamming the chat, fucking Nerai and Sam and Eric and fucking Gabe and everybody else was, Owen's full of shit, blah 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 blah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? I never paid attention before that, but these people sent me poison gummies. They're trying to poison my family. I'm like, wait a minute, wait. I was watching you when you opened that fucking package and you laughed when it happened. So from that point forward, the YouTube algorithm somehow was like, wait, time out. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I did this already and you guys couldn't hear me last time. But anyway, no. So the YouTube algorithm was like, okay, I was introduced to the original Johnny Arcade YouTube channel. And I watched his fucking whole, fucking 3-hour live stream of him going over evidence and shit. I'm like, something didn't seem right in the first place, which is why I found it, pertinent to research this shit. And then that channel got deleted. And then, again, I don't even remember the sequence of events exactly, but ultimately my point was from starting my channel was in solidarity for Johnny Arcade and Gabe. Because I watched that shit happen from the other side. And when I watched it happen, as a normal fucking person, well, a relatively normal person, I was like, there's no fucking way that people are like this. I was so mad that people would send poisoned fucking gummies to another human being because they're on the internet and they don't like them. Which, of course, that wasn't true. But I believed it because I didn't have any reason not to at that point with Owen, which is where I think every cycle of bear,
Bear fans.
what do you call it? Well, no, like the cultivation, like he fucking cycles them through with that he did it with Fuentes. I'm pretty sure that's how Milker Nation was formed. It was around that time when he became a fan of Fuentes, and then when Fuentes was like, Yeah, well, I mean, we're not exactly the same person because we're not the same fucking person. And Owen was like, holy fucking shit. You know, that created a whole rift there. So, I mean, I don't. Did I had a point? I don't know what it was, but Scorpio, please take it over.
Well, I'm looking at the comments right now, and Larry Rapshaw, that's Owen's old piano teacher. He's asking, what's the difference between a grifter, a scam artist, and a con man?
Oh, I fucking love Larry. Larry, I fucking love you. The difference between a grifter, a scam artist, and a what?
And a con
And
man.
a con man.
A con man.
That is a trick question.
It kinda,
No,
yeah.
no.
Kinda.
No. I don't think it is. I think that they are effectively the same thing in different mediums, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
con mans didn't exist when the internet existed. The confidence man, you know, the vacuum salesman, the carpet salesman, or whatever.
Well,
The
here we
internet
go.
is
That's what we were talking
very
about
new.
earlier. I mean, if you buy a vacuum and you get a vacuum, that's that's not a grift. That's not a con. I think a grifter. The dictionary definition.
But if you
is,
sell, but if you're selling a subpar vacuum as a post par vacuum, that's I mean that's a con man. Like if you're selling a piece of shit vacuum as the best vacuum in the world, that's a con man. You're not being honest about what you're selling, right?
right.
Not all vacuum salesmen are honest. Just because they're selling a vacuum doesn't mean they're telling you the truth about what they're selling you, right?
That's true.
You know? I mean, I think that's what Larry's kind of pointing out. What's the difference between a con man, a grifter, and the other thing that I can't remember again?
They're a scam artist, and the dictionary definition is they would all be the same thing. Now, the way I see it,
they are.
Grifting and grifters have been around from the dawn of history, from the dawn of mankind, probably as old a profession as prostitution. But I think the difference comes in. That's like when we were talking at the beginning. What kind of grifter are we talking about? Now we're just talking about very specific, internet grifters. We're talking about these ones that play on people's political points of view for the most, but that's the ones that I tend to focus on.
Yeah.
So as far as if there would be a difference, we're talking about a particular type of grifter.
And I was going to say, Sam had an overarching question that he wanted to ask on this podcast, and that was whether or not Joe Biden was a grifter. And I think that is so self-explanatory. It doesn't even need to be brought up, but I already did. So
yeah,
what do you
well,
think?
I like I said, I focus on these these pundit types. But honestly, if we're talking about politicians, I would say each and every politician is a grifter.
Yeah, there we go.
I would agree with that 100%.
There we go. Or as Nerai says in the chat, Biden is a drifter. So that too. I mean, I definitely think that I definitely think that even like all politicians are. I mean, even Trump to a certain extent.
No. To a pretty large extent.
Yeah. I mean,
I think so. I think so. I think. Well, yeah. They. I mean, if we go through our list, they have it all. I mean, Trump changed his view, right? He kind of glommed onto the Republican thing. He's got a lot of dire causes that he's selling. Um, I mean, we could name some of them, but
He
probably be too many to name.
he's
Um,
Wait,
he
wait, guys, time out. I want to, I want to regale you in the chat, whoever's listening, with my time in county jail, which was many years ago. I read the entire Left Behind series. I don't know if either of you are familiar with that.
I think
I know
No?
what you're talking about.
it's been a while.
It's like a biblical. It's like a modern retelling of Revelations, basically, through multiple books. And it just so happened to, like, most of it happened to be told in the area that I lived. So I was familiar with most of the territory that was spoken about. You know,
And
the primary.
geography.
Yeah. Fuck, there's a literary term for it, and I can't think of it. But the background, basically. Mostly Chicago, the Chicago area, essentially. And I knew from the streets and shit that they're talking about. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make, I brought up to one of my IRL friends. I'm like, how fucking mad do you think people would be if Trump wins the Nobel Prize? Because of this UAE, the United Arab Emirates, Israel pact thing that's happening. And this person I was talking to just so happened to be a youth minister for the last 20 years. And they're like, well, this would actually fall quite in line with Revelations, because the Antichrist would win the Nobel Peace Prize for peace in the Middle East, in the Holy Land. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. I don't. That's not what I was trying to. That's not what I was trying to talk about, man. Because I'd read those books. I've read those books, but I didn't think about that. And I was like, holy fuck! If Trump wins the Nobel Prize for peace in the Middle East, and the devil comes out of the earth, and all of my loved ones just disappear in some sort of, you know. Like biblical level exodus. Oh shit, their clothes are still here, but where the fuck are they?
I don't see Trump as the Antichrist. That's
Me neither. But no, neither does anybody in any literary depiction of the Antichrist.
Well, but the Antichrist, if I'm not
He rises out of the Middle East.
well, and
I mean, that's I mean, biblically speaking. Sorry, I dropped my phone.
well,
He rises out of the Middle East, but
so-
he's also embraced by the United Nations and like the world in general. Donald Trump is fucking hated by everybody.
Well, yeah, and that was what I was gonna say. He has to be embraced by everyone, and hell, Trump is too controversial to be embraced by everyone.
No. Listen, Donald Trump is the greatest comedian of our entire lives. All of our entire lives. He is the greatest fucking comedian that is. Listen, I fucking love George Carlin. I love Dave Chappelle. But I think Donald Trump might be the greatest comedian that has ever lived. I'm not kidding when I say that.
Well, what do you think, gentlemen? Is the Antichrist going to be a grifter?
No, I don't think so. I think the Antichrist will do the opposite. Honestly, I think the Antichrist will push for non-monetary value. He will push for, you know, spiritual sustenance. They'll do the fuck, what's his name? The Kool-Aid dude. What's his name? Jim
Oh.
Jones. Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Jim Jones. Yeah, they'll do the Jim Jones thing. I mean, the internet was long to be invented when Jim Jones convinced hundreds of people to drink some fucking Kool-Aid with cyanide in it. So,
Well, but
with the age of the internet, I don't think it will take much, man. I really don't.
well, that's been the other interesting thing to watch though with Owen is really the first like online cult leader, I guess.
Well,
He's
there's
not.
there's
not, though.
been, we can trace it all the way back to Heaven's Gate, from what I understand.
Yeah,
They did a
Right.
lot of their recruiting online. I think Marshall Applewhite was one of the first death cult leaders to actually have a major web presence, such as he did. So yeah, but it's
right.
developed. It's gone. It's snowballed since then. I think that was what, around 97, somewhere around there.
Oh shit! I thought it was.
It's just
somewhere
it's
in there.
snowballed. I mean, and it's gotten to the point where you have kind of quasi cults such as Owen's Bears or Ted's Minions or whatever the hell else is going on. But that's the
Right.
interesting thing is, and that's why when I what first got me interested in documenting these men and their followings is because you're starting to see it everywhere in every subculture. You have
Dude,
these little cult followings. I mean, you have them in the beauty communities. You have them in these little food groups. You got these weirdo cults. What do they call them on Kiwi farms? The death fats.
Kiwi. You're a Kiwi
But
too?
I stop in from time to time.
That's what they all say.
But they have these and we were talking about it earlier, these e celebs. They have these very diehard followings, and it intrigues me. And it's not, when I was looking into telling the Owen and the Teddy stories, is there's not a lot of research going on to kind of find out what's going on with these things now. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of different
There's not
reasons.
There's not, dude. You're right. You're right on the fucking nose, dude. Like official research. There's you and me, and Sammy and Hoax Wars and Milker Nation type of research going on, but there's not anybody that gives a fuck level of caring about this, like the Owen level of like the internet abuse.
Yeah,
And
it's alarming.
it's alarming as fuck, man. That's what drove me to make the worst fucking videos on YouTube I've ever seen. Just clipping this fucking dude off of my own phone because, like, please, more people pay attention. And listen, I credit Milker Nation's channel to me. Maybe not entirely to me, but Johnny Arcade and Alan Powell and me. I'm a 1/3 portion of Milker Nation who gets fucking like 2,000 views an Owen video that he posts. That's all I wanted. I never wanted. I don't want e-fame. I don't want anybody's money. I mean, listen, I need money. everybody needs money, but I don't want it from fucking strangers for no reason. Nah, I want to work for it, like most honest people. But I, as I tend to do on this show, Sammy and Scorpio, I lost my point.
Well,
I don't remember what it was.
well, I mean, to your point, so this is another thing that I want to bring up because, look, I mean, as Scorpio and I have both mentioned, we both have Streamlabs, and
Wait. Before you go any further, there's nothing fucking wrong with making money on the internet. I don't want to confuse that. People that want to pay you for what you're doing should be fine. But pretending that you're something that you're not, or you believe things that you don't, is grifting.
Well, that was going to be my exact point that I was going to make is,
Well, sorry, Sammy, I made it for you. What are you gonna do?
well,
Drive that fucking goddamn skill saw powered wheelchair where I'm at and cut me the fuck down, bro.
Are you
Try. You can try. I can jump pretty high. I'm tall.
Are you challenging me to a fight on my own stream?
Wait, listen. I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, so I'm challenging you to a standoff. I'm gonna fucking hold triangle until you fucking attack me, and then I'm gonna let go. And I'm gonna cut you with my sword, my katana.
Well, a standoff a standoff might be a little hard to to pull off, but
bro. Some of them are on horses. You know?
Okay,
standoff is it's like what do you call that? Scorpio, what do you call that?
I was trying to make a wheelchair joke.
I know you were. I was trying to cut you off from the wheelchair joke. Scorpio, you failed me. Shit.
I stopped paying attention for a brief second.
I'm just kidding. Sammy. Listen. Your flamethrowers and your skill saws, it's not fair. So however far you are from me, it doesn't matter. Because all that makes it unfair. I mean, you know?
I mean, you could come down to where I'm at if you really wanted to face me, but that's.
Oh yeah, I could come down to you if I really want to face the caltrops and the flamethrowers and the fucking Roman goddamn like horizontal fucking wheel blades to cut me off at the knees. No, thank you. I'll stay. It's cold up here. Bring your creaky wheels up here.
my wheels don't creak. My wheels don't creak, unlike Ted's chair. So.
That will in fucking 30 degrees below zero, homie.
Well, shoot, I'm not. You've got the unfair advantage. I mean, I'm down here in the tropics, and you wanted me to go up.
Unfair advantage? You got flamethrowers on that fucking wheelchair, dude. We've already established that.
So I could just melt the snow in my path for the blizzard. So.
Holy shit! I'm sorry, Sam. Listen. I joke about ruining your show all the time, but I think I might actually be ruining your show.
No, this is. let me put it this way. I've seen worse streams. So
I think you said that the last time.
I mean,
Why does that keep coming up?
Well,
yeah.
you're not looking at me right now, so I guess that's fair.
Well, here's the thing, Apex. Last week you called him a Mexican, and this week you challenged him to a fight. So you're really gonna hear it tomorrow.
Listen, Sammy has my personal phone number, so he can literally give me all the shit he wants.
Yeah, I could do that. So, I did almost slip up last week and say your real name, but I caught myself. So
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
So
Sam, I don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure I'm one of 353,000 Jeffs on the planet, at least in this country.
and boom.
My name's Jeff. My name's Jeff, guys. I'm Apex Jeff.
Or you're Jeff Gamma, as I have you in my phone. So
That's gay as fuck, Sam.
well, it's
Dude,
not.
listen.
Well, it's not.
Listen,
It's
I have been drinking expensive fucking whiskey all night. I'm drunk, and I'm smoking I've got a bowl in my hand that's named the Kraken. The Kraken, Sam. The Kraken. It looks like a sea creature, and I'm smoking out of it, and I have been all this time. I'm stoned and drunk as fuck. I'm sorry to ruin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That was a quick progression, Apex. I thought it was. What did you say earlier? Not very, or what? Not quite.
Well,
You went from not quite to stoned as fuck. Not in.
I'm stoned and drunk as fuck. That's the truth. I'm not much of a liar, man. That's the thing. I'm not big on fibs or lies or any of that shit. Whether it be on the internet or in person, fuck that shit.
You may be wrong, but you may be wrong, but you're not lying, like someone likes to used to say.
No. I will probably be wrong, but I'm 100% not lying. I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna tell you the truth, what I feel. I might be no, I'm probably wrong, but I'm not lying. That's the thing.
That
I like that
That's
one.
not much
Yeah.
better, is it? Yeah, that's not much better.
that's a little bit better than what Owen used to say.
I can get behind that one.
Well, listen, I might be a piece of shit, but I don't smell like one. I don't know.
and I mean, at least you admitted to being drunk and stoned. Unlike Owen.
Sam, listen. I have been drinking Knob Creek whiskey. I am probably.
Please sponsor me, Knob Creek.
Please, Knob Creek, sponsor Sam Whitfield.
I do have sponsors for this show. Actually, that's one thing that Owen does not have.
You haven't said a single word about them. How can you be sponsored if you don't? How can you grift, Sam, if you don't grift?
The sponsor is on the audio podcast, so that's where the sponsorship is. So
Scorpio.
What? Yes.
I don't know. You were gonna say something just now and it threw me off. What were you gonna
No,
say?
I was curious what the sponsor was.
Okay, so the sponsor I have is Anchor, which is also my podcast hosting platform. So, and actually,
Anchors are how you hold boats to the ground.
Yes, and it's also a company, so that is
Do
owned
they
by.
make heavy pieces of metal that hold boats to the ground?
No, but they make heavy podcasts that hold grifters accountable for their actions. So I guess in that way, I am the anchor.
Listen,
Are you an anchor, baby?
Ooh.
Are you? Are you?
Hey, that's racist, man.
Well, I mean, holy cow! Well, I mean, Sepper did call you a spick a few weeks ago on stream, so.
A what? Wait, a what?
Yeah,
Semper called. Wait,
Semper
called Scorpio a what on stream?
Do I need to spell out for you?
Yes, I didn't fucking hear you. That's why I'm asking you.
Oh, I thought
He
you were just
called
incredulous.
Scorpio a what?
Wow, you really are. You've gotten to that level of drunk where you need word spells for you. I've been there.
No, I literally don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to ask you what Scorpio said about wait shit. Semper said about Scorpio.
Well, it was just a joke in the chat for first off, but I think it was
Continue.
something like E Scorpio that spick has taken over my Discord. So.
Oh my god. He called oh shit.
Your reaction to all of this is what's hilarious. So.
Oh, I am trying to play it up for the
I mean,
Sam.
How
do you feel about being called a spick by a white man? A white man calling you a spick? Jesus Christ. In 2020?
Well, I've been called much worse.
Well, me too.
and
I'm not a
But that is pretty low though.
and the
I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty low.
and I think the live stream just died with that on YouTube at least. They heard that and
For real?
Or it just cut out. I think we're still live on D Live, but one of them just cut out. I think.
Guys, fellas, gentlemen, I'm very sorry.
No problem. But I find it funny that we just broke YouTube.
Oh
No,
wow!
I don't think we broke YouTube. I think YouTube was like, nah, I don't like what you guys are talking about.
Too much spick talk.
Spick talk, yeah.
Bro, you made him repeat it like a dozen times.
Yeah, you're right. Scorpio, you're fucking right, dude. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I think two or
Sammy,
three
I'm so
sticks you can
sorry.
get away with, but any more than that is pushing it.
So.
Scorpio.
Okay,
Scorpio.
we're back on YouTube. I think.
I hope so.
Okay, whatever you do, don't say spick.
Oh, great. That's great. Well, I mean.
Hashtag no spick.
Okay, that's the running joke of the evening now. Well, at least I'm not going to be the descendant of Pancho Villa. So.
Pancho Villa.
Right? Isn't that what Teddy says? He's the descendant of Pancho Villa or something like that.
Oh no! Wait! What did he say? His great granddaddy rode with Pancho Villa.
What? Let's debate whether or not you're Latino, Nick.
The bronze race.
Wait, you know what? I grew up learning about the yellow rose of Texas. I don't know how much either of you know about the yellow rose of Texas, but she was a fucking hooker that was sent to Pancho Villa. Maybe that's the wrong name, but the like commander of the Mexican army in Texas to like distract him so that we could disrupt the Mexican army and take over the state of Texas. But the yellow rose of Texas is a prostitute, and it's a pinnacle moment in American history. It's a real thing. A Mexican prostitute, by that.
So,
I think you just made that up.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that was relevant, but
so
I started thinking about the San Jacinto and the monument in San Antonio that Ozzy Osbourne pissed on.
Alamo. You can't remember the Alamo? That's its whole thing. Is remembering it.
Listen. I grew up. I was born and raised in South Texas.
No
and
shit.
The first time I was ever confronted by a group of like nefarious young men around my age were a group of Mexicans. There was 3 Mexican dudes. Again, this is South Texas, dude. I was deep South Texas, so it's not unusual. But they were like,
Are you in the valley or what?
no. Just south of Houston, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm in Texas.
Well, that's you're speaking my heart, man. That's my home. But shit, the point. What was the point?
The nefarious Mexican trio. What did they do?
No, what's the point? Fuck. It wasn't about a nefarious Mexican trio. It was about something else. Guys.
That's literally where you were at. You were talking about these three nefarious Mexicans.
I know, but like there was a point to bringing up those Mexicans. What was it? I don't remember what it was.
The Alamo prostitute?
Oh, that's what it was, dude. All right. So these 3 nefarious Mexicans, when I was like 15 years old, they're like trying to fucking bow up on me. Trying to fucking bow up on me. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna fucking beat your ass and shit. And like, remember the Alamo? I'm like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? We took over the Alamo. I'm like, yeah, but 15 motherfuckers took out like 300 of you motherfuckers, and I'm one. So there's like 4 of you. So 3 of you motherfuckers better say your piece, because I'm gonna fucking take you out. That was the point. That was the point of my story. I'm drunk and stoned as fuck, but that was the point of my story. And that's a real story. I'm like, remember the Alamo? Like, remember the Alamo, motherfucker? We took over the Alamo. I'm like, yeah. After fucking 20 motherfuckers took out like 3,000 of you motherfuckers. I don't know. I don't remember the numbers.
Like, hey, we took out the Alamo Homes. Was it like that?
Yeah, you took out the Alamo. There was like 12 dudes in there. And we held that shit out for like 18 fucking days. I don't even remember. Like, remember the Alamo? And then like, what do you mean remember the Alamo? The Alamo fell. I'm like, yeah. After we fucking I don't know, dude. It was I was young
sounds
and I
like
was talking shit.
sounds like you lived a horrifying life.
This is
No. Yeah.
Thi-
No, I mean that's true. I did.
this is better.
But-
This is better than drunk. This is better than drunk history. So
This is drunk stoned gamma history, motherfucker.
yeah, exactly. So
I'm a Texas born and raised fucking hillbilly. Period.
you're
You guys talk now.
you're a gamma. So how much of that?
Wait. Time out. That's a perfect fucking segue. Johnny pointed this out over an hour ago in the chat. Gamma is the fucking what is it?
A made up
The
doctor.
green eggs and ham of Dr. Seuss. That shit ain't real. Gamma don't exist. That's why I'm the best one. Because it ain't real. I'm the best of the things that aren't real. Gamma Secret Kings. Now listen, Scorpio, you got it. That's all you, bro. But of the things that aren't real, I'm the best.
so you mean
Somebody else, please talk.
so
can we salvage this to come back to what we were originally supposed to be talking about? I don't know if we
Please,
can.
for God's sake, please.
yeah, yeah. So in terms of what a well, I think we just defined what a gamma is pretty well. So that was
A Dr. Seuss character that doesn't exist. Period.
And-
So what else are we talking about?
and talks mad shit when they're drunk, I guess too. So
No.
But yeah, I think we covered the what is a gamma thing, and then as far as what a grifter is, that got pretty well covered. So did we?
Well, Scorpio was like, "Nope, I'm the fuck out of here." Oh no,
He's back.
I was gonna say Scorpio was like, "Nope, fuck this."
No,
dude.
I think I cut out that time.
Yeah.
That's good.
A lot
No,
of
that's
a
good.
lot
That's
of
good.
times a lot of times it's Discord. It's just Discord that does that.
No, that's good.
Discord
I
does.
felt really bad for about 9 seconds there.
Yeah,
Why were you talking bad or what?
Scorpio's like, "Fuck this, dude. Fuck out of here."
So, but yeah, I mean, so one thing in regards to the whole gamma thing, so or the whole grifter thing, so, is there anything more to this lawsuit? I guess speaking of our two favorite grifters, or is
That's
the
a good. Yeah, that's a good point
Well,
to hit on.
excuse me. Ted had a stream tonight, and I watched that one. He was going on and about. He was really playing it up. He did a blog post either yesterday or this morning, talking about this secret information he had that Patreon they really got it this time. But when he did his stream, it was nothing. He had nothing new to present. It was all what was it? The arbitrator sent out a mass email reminding everybody that they were going to be hearing the arbitrations, which is not anything new. So, but what the theory is that Teddy is trying to boost the morale of his troops before they either get much more egg on their face or they're just gonna let it fizzle out. So no, I don't know. You did talk. Was it earlier this week, Sam, about the first announcement Ted made about Owen's arbitration being kicked out?
yeah.
I think you talked about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did do a stream about that. So
So there, I mean, there was that. That to me, that was the big news, and of course, Teddy didn't want to address that too much. Now,
and
I mean, a big shout out to him. The only reason we know is because he put it on his blog. But other than that, you're not hearing the echo chamber that we heard last time when everybody was saying Patreon lost, Patreon is such losers. Well, since then we've had Owen being the loser because he's ain't getting shit from Patreon. That's what it comes down to.
and so
He's no longer in the dance.
So and for some reason I don't know why people keep asking me this, because I don't know, but like in my last video people kept commenting that I did on it, where is Mike Cernovich in all of this? And I'm like, because Cernovich was the one that was bragging about how Patreon was done for, and yet he's nowhere to be seen as of this stream that we're doing right now.
He's not tweeting up a storm as he usually is. I don't think that he has addressed that, and I don't expect that any of them will. I think they're all these.
I think Cernovich is riding the same grift.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
totally.
Well, it all began with him. This was all his idea. So
I'm
he's
choking
got
on my own lungs here. No. I think Cernovich is just as much of a grifter as anybody else we've discussed this evening.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Maybe even more so.
He's actually one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed to.
Well, that explains why he's not talking about why fucking Owen lost his arbitration and his fucking 100-something bears are, left in the cold.
Yeah. Johnny.
No, it's true. That's true. No, go ahead, Seth.
Johnny just said Apex is on the White Claw. Yeah, I mean that's.
Fuck no, bro! I'm on the fucking ice house. And the Knob Creek.
Getting loose.
That explains. But yeah, Mike, I will admit, I was dumb enough when I was younger, and by younger I mean like 5 years ago, to actually buy Gorilla.
Sam, please, Sam, just do me a favor and don't ever mention about being younger when you're on stream with me, because I've got like 10 years on you. So just be like, something other than being something, whatever you just said.
Okay, point taken. In my dumber days, I guess, before I was foolish enough to buy Mike Cernovich's Gorilla Mindset, and that book is weird. It is the weirdest. It is the weirdest autobiography slash self-help book I've ever listened to on Audible. So
Have you listened to Jordan Peterson? Because that shit gets pretty weird.
I mean,
but that's another area, isn't it? The self-help genre. of another avenue that people
Yeah.
grift into?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a big one.
yeah.
I'm
that-
not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm actually like I'm more of a fan of Jordan Peterson than I am not a fan. But that dude is fucked up. And he's definitely a grifter. He didn't mean to be, but he became one, and he became a lol cow. That's why I say all celebs beyond a certain point, which I cannot quantify, are lol cows. They just don't know it yet.
It's hard to put a number
the
on.
The internet is not a place to learn anything, but it's the only fucking place to learn anything. So for real, I'm serious, dude.
That's true. So
I'm serious, dude. It's a fucked up world we live in, man. I don't like it. I talk to people and I'm like, life. Just talk about life. They're like, yeah, life is life. And then I talk to a different group of people 5 fucking feet away. I'm serious, this happened today. The next aisle over. And they're like, yeah, I believe the exact opposite of everything you just heard. 5 feet away from me. I live in a little town. It's little. It's tiny. Why the fuck do people why the fuck are people so stupid about everything all the time? Guys, I'm serious. I don't get it. I don't understand. We're here to listen. We're on the stream talking about grifters, but I don't think there's I don't think there's a thing that exists that can be quantified. I mean, there can be for sure. I mean, that's far too. That's too far to say that it can't be identified as a grifter. Can't be. Yeah, that for sure can be identified. But in this day, I just in this day and age, man, I'm so fucking old, and I'm new. I'm so new to this fucking internet thing. I'm like, wait.
Oh.
So please, for fuck's sake, somebody please start talking. Just please, somebody else start talking.
I'm having too much fun listening.
Save me. Just save me for whatever the fuck I'm talking about, because I don't know what it is anymore.
I think it's safe to say, Sam, the show is completely off the rails.
This is, hey, I say it every fucking, I tweet it every time I'm on the show. I'm good at ruining shit.
Hey,
This is what I do. I just dropped my phone on the floor.
It's fun though. I mean, I'm having a blast, man. It's no, I mean that's the good. I think it's a good thing. This type of internet setup. I mean, a lot of people shit on it. A lot of people might say, "Oh, you know, you're grifting or whatever. You accept Streamlabs. You're just putting on this show, or whatever." But it's a lot of fun to speak to other people and about these topics we have in common. And people like watching. I like watching these streams because we're just normal cats, man. We're not people out there drifting free speech or anything like that.
That's right on the money, Scorpio. Actually, that's my drunk, stoned ass could not have said any better, even if I tried.
I think it's
this
safe
is
to
what
say
it's
that,
all
right?
about. I am only here because I like you guys, and I like the chat, and I want to talk to y'all. Like Scorpio, I've talked to you like 3 times, man. You know what I mean? And I'm significantly more drunk than you've probably ever been.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, listen. You're significantly more sober than I am right now.
That's true. That is true.
Right. That was a joke, but it's true still. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I enjoy doing this because I don't have much else. And I like talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. And the chat is awesome. And we can figure some shit out, or we can fucking not, or we can just slur some words for like 15 or 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and
well, I'll
maybe
tell
the
you what,
chat
man.
won't notice while
I'll
you
tell
just
you what,
fucking slur some shit into the fucking microphone.
It definitely beats cable.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And that's the beauty of all this. And that's what, when YouTube first started, that's what it was, man. People just making shows for other people's enjoyment. Excuse me. It's gotten real weird in the last several years, but I mean, I think it's little shows like this. People, Sam has his crowd, and they all come and listen to whoever's on speak, and it's just everybody seems to enjoy it. So, I mean, I say we take advantage of it.
I mean,
when I can let Sam talk, like just now when I like literally interrupted him, just say when I can let Sam talk as his co-host.
Well, you're the official co-host, right? So.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So.
Well,
that's
and
what Sam says.
Well, and the whole reason why Apex is my co-host, and I'm actually going to clip this because I'm sure some people are wondering why Apex is even my co-host at this point, but the reason is because the reason why Apex is my co-host is because otherwise, if it's just me here, I will ramble about nothing for 3 hours, and I'm not.
So what Sammy is saying is I am his token fucking white boy to talk fucking random nonsense to make him and his Roman level fucking wheelchair look superior to me and my retardation.
I mean,
clip that, Sammy.
I mean that's what Owen, that's how Owen used. That's what Owen thought. So
Sammy, let's be real. That's the truth. I am your retard.
I
am your retard. It's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm your retard.
Owen's my retard. So
No. Owen is existential, bro. I am here. I am your retard. I belong to you, Sammy.
At this point, since you said earlier in the stream that gammas don't exist, I'm beginning to wonder if Scorpio and I are just like super, if you're just like a super hallucination that.
Well, listen, gammas are like they're like the Who. They're like Dr. Seuss creations, man. They're as real as you believe them to be, which is not at all.
Well,
like in real life.
Well, and I mean,
go ahead, Scorpio. No, Scorpio said something. No.
Well, I think that you might be hallucinating us at this point, Apex.
No, sir. I have 2 stiff glasses of whiskey and a fucking full bowl of weed, but I mean,
Wait, you have 2 glasses of whiskey and a.
I have had 2 glasses of whiskey since we've started this stream, and I have smoked an entire ball of very good weed.
Oh,
So-
so you're basically white Joey Diaz now. So
Wait, what is Joey Diaz?
I thought he was white.
well, I mean.
Wait, what's a Jew? Are Jews white?
Yeah, well, that's good. That's a good question.
Clip that shit, motherfucker.
Oh dear God! Now the stream really is going to go down. You said the magic word. That I'm pretty sure YouTube, like, every time they hear that, they get like panicky. So
Yeah, their panties getting a twist.
but it's okay.
Guys, I just dropped my phone. Sorry, 4 fucking ways to Sunday. And that's the end of my story.
you dropped your phone again, so.
Holy fuck. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I dropped it and I picked it up 3 different times and I couldn't get it right.
How is your phone like still working? That's what I want to know.
Well, listen, Sam, I have carpet as a floor.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's fine. I could throw the fucking thing in the air and bounce it off the ceiling. It'll be fine.
Please don't attempt that.
I will. It's old. Listen, I'm due for an S20 note or whatever the fuck that thing was that just came out.
No, you're due for an iPhone, so I can.
No, sir. No, sir. I like the Asians. I like what the Asians do. Just as long as just not as far as China. So, excuse me. I don't think I even had a point. But if I did, I don't remember what it was. So,
we had first you started with Mexicans, then you went to Jews, and now you're about to say something about the Asians.
Yeah, the fucking Chinese, man. I fucking love the Chinese, man. I don't know. Starts with Jews, and the Mexicans, and then the goddamn Chinese. Fucking Asians. This Gamma. Fuck Gamma. Sam, you remember like 2 weeks ago when I was like, I think your show is like devolving a little bit since you invited me onto your show regularly.
This
might be the personification of that.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I don't think that was true. This week, I think the show has crashed into the side of the mountain. So
wait, it's crashed into the side of the Yangtze River in China, which leads into the Three Gorges Dam, which is gonna destroy like millions of fucking Chinese people's lives.
And it all comes full circle.
Fucking crickets, dude. Oh, Sam, maybe dude. Get me off of your show.
I'm trying to find the mute button, especially since it's my server, but.
Nope, you're not. No, I can mute myself, Sam, but you can't mute me.
Yeah, this isn't Google.
I will go to bed though. I love you guys. Oh
Uh,
my God, my S Pen. Where's my S Pen? Oh, there's my S.
Yeah, this seems like a good jumping off point here.
Yeah, this does. I think we've certainly established though that gammas are more entertaining than grifters for sure. So I mean,
Well, I'd say so.
Listen, wait, time the fuck out. Gammas aren't real. Gammas are Noofs and fucking Noofs in goddamn Dr. Seuss novels. They don't exist. But I'm the best one.
So
Period.
So Secret Kings, I guess, then are entertaining. So
I think he dropped his phone one too many times. He's gone.
yeah, that was interesting. I don't think I've ever had that. I don't think I've ever had anyone that drunk on the show before. So other than, well, no, I don't think I've ever had anyone that drunk on stream before. So
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
So are you working on any more docs at this point? I know that you were planning on doing the unauthorized grift series.
Yeah. I've got a few projects going on. That one's I still haven't had the time to finish that one up. It's the first episode's halfway done. I've been actually having to be my daughter's teacher because the school year just started.
Oh,
And it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those. It's Zoom. It's Zoom class now. So I don't know if you're familiar with all that, but that's been a big mess.
Oh yeah, I start that in like 2 weeks at the college level. So that'll be fun.
Well, this is at the elementary school level, so it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad because you're dealing with, the already inept public school system. But all this just magnifies it. So yeah, I mean, I'm being, like we're talking about, Sam. It's we do this for fun. I mean, we're not profiting like the big name grifters are, but it's something I do in my spare time, and at the moment I don't have that much spare time. But yeah, I'm sorry, what's that?
Yeah, I understand that. So
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad that you have your schedule. I mean, you do this thing regularly, the Saturday night show, and I know you have shows in between that. But on my end, yeah, I've got a few projects going on. It's mostly around the Gamma Secret King thing. That's my main focus is the subreddit, because that's something that's easy to maintain. I can do it on the Reddit app on my phone.
yeah, the Reddit app is, yeah, that's mainly how I operate too. It's weird though because because of all the different like recommendations I'll get on YouTube after I've been in that stuff. I'll find like old Vox Day stuff from like 3 years ago, and let me put it to you this way: I don't think Teddy Roll hasn't changed a bit from like 3 years ago. He's like the only one that has like consistently remained. Like he's like, the best way I can explain it is he's always been a top tier grifter, whereas like I think the others have devolved into grifters. If that makes sense.
Yeah, we kind of talked about that the last time I was on. Was that chicken and the egg question, is who came first, was it? And we're starting to see the connections between Ted Beal and Cernovich, and like I said, we haven't gone into it too much, but they're all connected in a very strange way.
Yeah.
So where does that start from? Does it start? And that's when we were talking about how far does that conspiracy go? Does it go all the way up to some sort of controlled op thing from the deep state, or you know, who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ted's definitely one of those guys that's always in all those circles.
Well, and I also find it interesting, and I know we covered this last week too, that Ted, like a bunch of people think that he's like some conservative patriot, but he doesn't even live in the U.S. Anymore. And
No, I don't understand I don't understand that at all.
and hasn't for years. So
Yeah, I think he's been out of the country for I want to say going on 2 decades.
and
He doesn't have any skin in this game.
yeah, so his only motivation is just pure cash then. But
Oh yeah.
so anything else that you wanted to bring up or promote on your end?
I did before everything went crazy. So I don't remember it at the moment, but no, man, I think that's pretty much it. Just I would implore everybody to go over to the Gamma Secret King subreddit. Help us keep an eye on things. Just hang out and have fun. That's basically it, man.
I do have one question regarding that. So, where did you come up with the Marv Albert, alias? Because that whole introduction is hilarious.
It was just something I made up. The way that all got started. Okay, so there's a story to the whole subreddit. I used to run the Vox Day subreddit, r/Vox Day, and we had got a I just made something for fun. I was celebrating that we got so many members, and I had put that Marv Albert was a Gamma Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Fame Gamma, and Ted took that and put it on his blog, and he made like obscure threats like he usually does about getting the Vox Day subreddit taken down. So the Gamma Secret King subreddit was supposed to be the backup to the Vox Day one. Well, sure enough, the Vox Day one got taken down, and so we're all over there. So I took that Marv Albert and I made that my mod flare. And have you seen the little dog that's on there, the sub banner? It's got the little dog biting the ankle.
On Vox Day or on GSK?
No, on the Gamma Secret King.
Yeah, I have. I have.
So I named the dog Marv also. So that's a little bit of a trivia there. Not too many people know.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have a few ALSs too, and then your Ipsy Venus Bilbus too. I also I think
Ipsy Venena Bibas.
I think that's funny, especially since some of the bear discords that I may or may not have agents in have told me that I guess the bears think that like Bilbus is some like homosexual erotic thing. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what they're thinking, but somehow the bears think that like Ipsy Veta Bilbus is like some gay acronym or some gay double entendre, and I'm like that's hilarious. It literally means nothing. So
no, it does mean something actually. There is a hidden meaning to that, and that's another piece of lore that not too many people know. But my username there on Reddit, Ipse Venena Bibas, that's from, now this is gonna sound like a total special boy, but it's Latin. It's from the Latin Saint Benedict's prayer, and that it translates to "drink the poison yourself." So
Oh,
it's
oh,
kind of a play on the cult drinking the Kool-Aid.
oh, drink thy poison thyself productions.
Right? Yeah.
So, I've actually rewatched your doc like 2 or 3 times just for the Easter eggs, and I've noticed that like you even put like in craft services at one
Yeah, that is an Easter egg.
in the credit, which I actually did that for this show once, but no one picked up on it. So
Well, the Easter egg with that one is that I don't know if you're familiar with Neil Breen. He's a
yeah,
what are you? He's one of those directors, kind of like Tommy Wiseau. He makes those good bad movies. I mean, they're bad movies, but they're the good bad.
yeah,
And that was his shitty movies that he makes. He has stuff like that. Like he has all these titles, and then he has the company next to it, but they're all him. So I just stuck that in there to see if anybody picked that up. A very obscure reference. Vox might be right. I'm a special boy Gamma.
I think some of my pop culture references, even though they should have been relevant, I think they went over Vox's head because he hasn't been here in 20 years. I think one time this was like I don't know, about a year ago maybe. I did craft services provided by Los Pollos Hermanos, which I don't know if you've ever seen the series Breaking Bad, but that's like that's the main chain restaurant in that show.
Oh wow! No, I never watched that show.
Yeah, it's a good one if you have the time, but yeah, that is an Easter egg that I guess Ted did not understand. So, but all right, well, Scorpio, where can we find you on the internet?
Excuse me. I'm at my YouTube channel. I don't update frequently, but eventually I'll get around to putting another video up. I'm also at Twitter at Inquisitor Ipse, and of course I'm at Reddit under Ipse Venena Vivas, and and Discord. I'm the Gamma in Chief.
And you're also, are you still on Gab at all, or
I haven't used Gab in a long time.
Yeah, I use Gab intermittently, and I think you and I follow each other there, but I haven't used it in a while either. But
Yeah, I stopped using it after it went to New Gab. It was just it was too much of a mess at that time, and I never got interested in picking it up again.
yeah, so all right, sir. Well, thank you for coming on and joining in on this wild ride. So
Right on, Sam. Anytime, man.
all right,
I had a lot of fun.
thank you for coming on. So
You're welcome.
have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, folks, and I think that'll do it for tonight's show. Thank you guys very much for sticking with me through this, shit show, I guess, of a stream is the best way I can, put it. We had some good laughs, some good info there at the beginning of the show. But, and some hijinks too. So, I want to thank you all for coming on. And, I do want to give a quick shout out, real quick, to So What, who donated a Ninja Guinea on D Live. So, Thank you very much for that. So what? And I'm going to open the chest here now. So on D Live, I'll be doing that for you guys over on D Live, and also we received a super chat early in the evening from I guess, well, let's see what this is. Let me replay it.
Here's $5 so I can buy your friendship. You now owe me internet loyalty.
Sam's new best friend donated $5. Well, okay, thank you for the $5. I don't owe you loyalty, but I appreciate your $5 anyway. So thank you, Sam's new best friend, for the $5. Very cool. Thank you. And yeah, like I said, thank you to So for the Ninja Genie, and thank you to DXMI for the 3 lemons, 2 on D Live, and thank you to everyone in chat who joined as well. Thanks to Alan, to Annabelle, to Larry, to Storm Wrenches, to Johnny Arcade, to Saucin, and to Neri in the chat as well. And yeah, folks, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next week on the Whitfield Report. Until then, God bless America. God, freedom, legacy, in that order, as my friend Mr. Neri would say. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the Whitfield Report. God bless.